Building a talent bench is one of the best talent acquisition strategies you can ever implement as a leader within your organization. It's also one of the most overlooked strategies that organizations fail to implement or execute very well. And it's obvious why. It takes time, it takes effort. Hiring, recruiting, oftentimes is not an executive or a business leader or a hiring manager's number one concern until it is. Building talent benches is all about being a very strategic leader and thinking forward, knowing that you're going to need the very best people on your team, and a time is going to come in the near future when you're gonna wish that you had a relationship with an amazingly talented person who has a particular set of skills and abilities, and you wish that you spent the time investing in that relationship so that you could start a conversation with them and capture that talent before they ever hit the market. Building a talent bench is the secret to success as a business leader. It's a way to drive business results better, quicker, and faster than your competition. Think about it this way. If you had an open position for a Java developer, a CPA, a patent attorney, commercial driver, whatever the role is you're hiring for, capturing one of those high performers within any job bucket or any category of position can take an extraordinary amount of time if you start from scratch. If you start from scratch, what you're gonna have to do is A, post jobs, B, wait for candidates to come in. C, you're gonna have to screen resumes, set up interviews, walk those people through an interview process. Interview processes can take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. By the time you actually make an offer, it can easily take 60 to 120 days for that person to actually show up and start their first day of work with you. If it's a super specialized job where those talent pools are microscopic, then you gotta go hire a headhunter, or you have to have an internal headhunter, and they gotta start doing cold outreach. And cold outreach is what building a talent bench is all about, except for you're doing it from scratch, where you have no relationship. That means you're having to reach out to dozens, if not hundreds of people with a cold message saying, hey, would you want to talk to me about a great career opportunity at our firm? And that could take weeks or months. I did this for a risk management company, and they had a super niche. They worked for insurance companies, and they helped audit and set up risk management programs for the petroleum industry. I mean, it was like 50 people in the country who did this job, right? So starting from scratch took 6 months before they found the right person with the right credentials. The specificity of the role was so unique, there just wasn't anybody who did that. But if you invested the time over the years to build relationships with those people, when the time comes to start a conversation about a role within your organization, they're gonna be warmed up, ready to have that conversation. Plus, the screening process is gonna go way, way faster. Those are all the reasons why you wanna build a talent bench. The reasons why we don't do it is because it's hard, it takes time. You gotta have a system for it. So build a system, build a habit. What we do at Discovered is we create performance hiring systems so that you can build those benches. Here's a role, it's kind of an interesting one here. This one is a geotechnical engineer that we're working on consulting with a client on, and this is in Northern California, and there are literally only 30 of these people who have these specialty licenses in the area. So what we did is we went out and we identified the entire talent market, and we found all those people there, and then we took an extra look and we actually star rated them against the criteria that we were looking for. So that narrowed the field down to only like 10 people who we really wanted to build a relationship with. So that turned what might have originally been this huge monumental task down into something that was more bite-sized, something more manageable. Could you build a relationship with 10 people? I hope so. That's a manageable task. So then what we did is we began to reach out to these people, and we invited them to lunch. We invited them to coffee. We began connecting with them on LinkedIn and other social channels. So that way they would see content. We began engaging with them on social channels. And then we began calling. So we had an assistant call these people and say, hey, our senior partner has been watching your career and seen some of the work that you do, has reviewed some of your papers, and man, we just love to have a connection in a networking meeting. That results in a cup of coffee. It's a slow pitch. It's let's just get to know each other. It's a great opportunity to just talk shop, talk about the industry, talk about what's going well. So we open the conversation with that. And then we have a performance hiring software that just makes it easier for us to keep track of these people. Now they're star ranked. Now we can categorize them just using some simple filtering. We know we need to focus in on these folks. We can begin to leave notes about these individuals, remembering what their kids' names are, their favorite hobbies. And if you want to build a relationship with somebody, get to know them, both on a professional and a personal level. And remember to talk to them about the things that they care the most about in their lives. You want to keep track of the information, the things you learn about these folks. And when you reach back out to them again in 6 months or 12 months, you can check in and be like, hey, how's Jane, your daughter? She was going to do a recital last time. How'd she do? Checking in at a personal level is really, really helpful. Or a professional level. Hey, last time we caught up, you were in the middle of this huge project. How'd it turn out, right? People are gonna gladly pick up a conversation with you again, right? So we can also use tools to mass text and mass email. When you have a small group of people, you're probably not gonna wanna mass message them, but it is still pretty convenient to be able to send somebody a quick text. Hey, did you see that new thing that happened in the industry? That's really cool. Here's an article. Start a little just side conversation or send a quick email. And all that's built right in and it's all being kept track of. Now, if I have a volume type of position, but a hard to fill one, a great example I like to use is commercial drivers. If you're trying to hire truck drivers, they're in super, super high demand. Could be plumbers, could be HVAC technicians. These people could be super hard to find. You might get a lot of applicants, but a lot of them won't be that good. But if I've gone through and I've star ranked them, I've marked some of them, say, using a tag like hold for future consideration, and I'm doing this hiring all the time. I'm beginning to build a bench. Now that's a kind of bench that I can deliver newsletters to, videos, text message, and email, and I can do it a little bit at a higher scale because that truck driver that didn't accept my job or didn't engage with a conversation with me a year ago might be interested in talking to me now, and I can catch him before he goes back on the job market and applies for another job. The second key is you just gotta make it a priority. So put it on your calendar once a month, once a quarter to sit down and just spend 30 minutes a day for a week doing outreach. Just give those people a call and catch up. Hey, how's life going? How's your wife? How's that project going? Are you going to that conference? Find a reason to start a conversation with them. Even if you just get a voicemail just saying, hey, it's Fletcher. John, I was just checking in to see how things are going. Last time we talked, you were in the middle of a big project. I hope it went well for you. I hope we get to have a cup of coffee again soon, right? And again, in those meetings, in those conversations, you're learning more and more about the person. It's an interview, effectively. Again, in 12 months, 24 months, 5 years from now, if I reconnect with John, I already know everything about him. So closing the deal with John down the road is gonna be 10 times easier, and I'm not starting from scratch. So I can accelerate the filling of my open positions with a key role because I've taken the time to set up a talent bench. All right, those are a bunch of reasons and a few ideas on how you can begin to build a talent bench. Collecting information, personal information, professional information, making it a point, scheduling it, and then going out and doing it. Hopefully using some tools that make your life easier to keep track of these people who you're trying to build long-term relationships with. If this was interesting for you, hit subscribe, or if you'd like to learn more about how the discovered performance hiring software can help you with your talent acquisition goals, click the links below and we'd be happy to chat with you one-on-one. You can ask us anything. I look forward to solving your hard hiring problems.